letting go of the old me, similar to an OG. Was no creep, nothing can hold me. Things wasn't so sweet, struggling with self because the flesh is so weak. But now the kid's so gifted, things finally make sense. Making $1 out of 15 cents, impossible unless you use common sense. Passed every trial and test. Being strong, not very high school educated, but street smart, a good heart and always dedicated. Soaking up knowledge, always room to learn more. Trying not to be poor, hungry for more. Doesn't mean I'm greedy at all. The big picture like graffiti on the wall. Making average off this rap game, staying on the humble lane. The rich rapper constantly rumble through fame, facing more pain just because they make more change. No pain, no gain, riding through the night, hoping to see the day. Refuse to be a slave, be a slave, be a slave. Gotta watch who you trust, watch out who you get too close to. Try not to be over friendly, never know who's the enemy, the enemy, the enemy. Gotta watch who you trust, watch out who you get too close to. Try not to be over friendly, never know who's the enemies, the enemies, the enemies. Never know who's gonna try to out hustle your pay, taking more than half for every dollar you paid. Broke artists getting played by the dudes they work for on the day-to-day, but why complain? I'ma work for myself rather than somebody else, so that way nobody can play with your wealth. Learn to be your own man besides your parents. You don't need someone else to teach you how to walk or stand. Thinking back how I was a kid, grown people talking smack. Even some adults don't know how to act, but I still respect my elders. As to the young kids, I always tell them I don't live for people, though I give to people. The poor and the rich are equal. You're either good or evil. Don't worry about the sneaky people. Learn to be tough like Jesus. Gotta watch who you trust, watch out who you get too close to. Try not to be over friendly, never know who's the enemies, the enemies, the enemies. Gotta watch who you trust, watch out who you get too close to. Try not to be over friendly, never know who's the enemies, the enemies, the enemies. Keep your mind clear, the time's near. No time to be blind here, still right here, fighting for years. Took a while, but I'm finally here. Standing my ground, it's hard to knock me down. You won the battle, not the war, we're going round for round. Gotta show who you are and rep your town. Don't let dudes try to clown, going all out, showing your skills. Let them know you're real. Surprisingly, you caused their mouth to seal. Upgraded, though you were underestimated. Now you finally made it, no loser will be able to take it. Yeah, man. Though it's dark, I see with spiritual light. Facing critics in life, searching until the feeling is right. What is missing in life? Why do we feel hopeless through some difficult times? Gotta watch who you trust, watch out who you get too close to. Try not to be over friendly, never know who's the enemies, the enemies, the enemies. Gotta watch who you trust, watch out who you get too close to. Try not to be over friendly, never know who's the enemies, the enemies.